Imagine the chilling silence that falls when a doctor delivers news that reshapes your entire world. You sit there, absorbing words like critical condition, bleak prognosis, and unlikely to see the sunrise. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario. It's a moment many have faced, a point where the scientific path seems to narrow into an impassable wall, leaving you utterly breathless and overwhelmed. This topic resonates deeply because at some point, you or someone you love will face what seems like an impossible challenge. It might be a health crisis, a financial catastrophe, or a relational breakdown. In these moments, understanding that even when medical science or any human solution reaches its limit, there can still be a path forward offers profound solace and strength. In this video, you will hear a powerful story of how a seemingly irreversible medical verdict was met with an unwavering faith, leading to an outcome that defied all logical explanation. We won't promise magic cures or quick fixes, but rather explore the resilience of the human spirit and the profound impact of divine intervention when all hope seems lost. I'm here to share insights from a journey through precisely such a dark valley. Having personally navigated the overwhelming weight of a life-altering medical prognosis, I understand the fear, the doubt, and the desperate search for something more. My experience is not unique, but it offers a testament to what can transpire when faith meets the seemingly impossible. This journey begins not with the miracle itself, but with the profound understanding of what it means to stand at the precipice of despair, listening to words that extinguish almost every flicker of hope. Understanding that specific context is crucial to appreciating the extraordinary turn of events that followed. When faced with a grave medical diagnosis, the initial shock can feel like an invisible punch knocking the air from your lungs. The cold, sterile environment of a hospital, the hushed tones of medical staff, and the stark reality of charts and scans all converge to paint a picture often devoid of hope. You're told about probabilities, statistics, and the limitations of current treatments, each word a heavy stone added to an already crushing burden. This emotional and psychological landscape is where countless individuals find themselves. The human mind grapples with the sudden shift from normalcy to a battle for survival, often questioning everything you once held dear. It's a fundamental concept that resilience is tested not in comfort, but in crisis, and a severe health challenge is arguably one of life's most profound crises. Different people confront this reality in myriad ways. Some immerse themselves in research, seeking every possible medical avenue. Others withdraw, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the situation. Many, however, find themselves instinctively turning to something beyond the tangible, exploring the spiritual dimensions of healing and hope when the physical realm offers so little. Imagine your life as a meticulously planned route, suddenly blocked by an insurmountable wall. Every turn you expected, every destination you envisioned, is now unreachable. The path ahead is dark, and the map you've relied on is useless. This analogy captures the profound sense of disorientation and helplessness that medical impossibilities can impose. It's this very feeling of absolute helplessness, where human effort and knowledge reach their limit, that often opens the door to a different kind of strength, a strength derived from a source far greater than ourselves. As the initial shock subsides, you begin to process the full weight of the medical assessment. The details are clinical, precise, and leave little room for optimism. You're informed about the severity of organ damage, the rapid progression of a condition, or the unresponsiveness to conventional therapies. It's a scientific reality presented with objective data, leaving you feeling like a statistic rather than an individual. The medical team, bound by their professional duty, outlines a grim prognosis, perhaps citing a percentage chance of survival that feels infinitesimally small, or even stating outright that recovery is not expected. This information is delivered with a sense of gravity, acknowledging the profound impact it will have, yet always anchored in the observable facts and established medical knowledge. In these moments, you might find yourself clinging to any shred of possibility, even as the experts explain why those possibilities are so remote. They detail the intricate biological mechanisms at play, illustrating why certain organs are failing, or why a particular treatment protocol is unlikely to succeed. It's a comprehensive, albeit devastating, education in human vulnerability. You are not alone in facing such stark realities. Countless families have sat in similar rooms, hearing similar words, grappling with the limitations of even the most advanced medical science. It's a reminder that despite incredible progress, there are frontiers beyond human understanding and control where even the most brilliant minds can only offer comfort, not cure. This stark confrontation with medical boundaries naturally leads many to look beyond conventional solutions, to seek comfort and intervention from a different source, questioning whether there could be an unseen hand at work in the face of absolute impossibility. When every medical avenue seems exhausted and the path forward is obscured by insurmountable obstacles, a different kind of desperation can set in. You begin to search for answers not in textbooks or medical journals, but in the depths of your own spirit or in the ancient wisdom of faith traditions. This is often where the journey truly begins for many facing seemingly hopeless situations. The act of prayer, for those who believe, transforms from a casual practice into an urgent, heartfelt plea. It's an expression of complete surrender, acknowledging that human strength and wisdom have reached their limits. You pour out your fears, your hopes, and your deepest desires to a higher power, seeking intervention where none seems humanly possible. This period is often marked by intense introspection and a re-evaluation of one's entire life. You might find yourself questioning the very nature of existence, purpose, and the meaning of suffering. It's a profound spiritual crucible, forcing you to confront fundamental beliefs and to either deepen your faith or grapple with its absence in a new, urgent way. Consider this phase like standing at the edge of a vast, dark chasm. You've tried every path around it, every bridge, every attempt to climb down. Now, with no other option, you look up, hoping for an unseen force to provide a way across, a miraculous intervention that defies gravity and logic. This fervent turning to faith, often born out of extreme adversity, is not merely an act of desperation, but a fundamental shift in perspective, setting the stage for events that might otherwise be dismissed as mere coincidence or anomaly. The power of collective prayer, especially during times of crisis, can be a profound source of strength and comfort. When you share your deepest fears and your fervent prayers with a community, whether family, friends, or a spiritual group, the burden feels lighter. There's a tangible sense of being held, supported, and surrounded by love and shared belief. This coming together isn't just emotional. For many, it's a spiritual activation. People pray for strength, for guidance, and crucially, for a miracle. They visualize healing, speak words of life over seemingly lifeless situations, and hold on to promises found in ancient texts that speak of divine intervention in impossible circumstances. You might experience moments of doubt where the clinical reality presses in, threatening to extinguish the flame of hope. This is a natural part of the journey. Yet it's often in these very moments of internal struggle that the decision to lean even harder on faith becomes a conscious, powerful choice, a defiant act against the overwhelming negativity. Think of it like being lost at sea in a storm. The waves are crashing, the sky is dark, and your vessel is taking on water. Suddenly, a lighthouse beam cuts through the gloom, a distant but steady promise of shore. That beam isn't an immediate rescue, but it's a vital sign, a reason to keep bailing and keep believing. It's this sustained, collective spiritual effort, fueled by belief and desperate hope, that creates an environment where the extraordinary becomes not just a possibility, but a deeply yearned-for expectation, paving the way for a divine response. In the midst of the deepest despair, when medical options dwindle and the outlook appears utterly hopeless, sometimes there are subtle shifts, almost imperceptible at first, that begin to hint at something beyond the ordinary. These aren't immediate, dramatic changes, but perhaps a sudden, inexplicable stabilization, a slight improvement that doctors struggle to account for. You might find medical professionals expressing cautious bewilderment, reviewing charts, re-examining data, and admitting that what they are observing doesn't quite fit the expected trajectory of the illness. They might use terms like unexpected, atypical, or defying conventional understanding, words that hint at a deviation from established scientific norms. This phase is critical because it introduces the first cracks in the wall of impossibility. It's a period where the seeds of doubt about the unyielding prognosis are sown, not just in your mind, but sometimes even in the minds of the experienced medical staff who have seen it all. They remain tethered to scientific explanation, yet acknowledge an anomaly. Picture a complex machine with a predicted failure point. Suddenly, without any known intervention, a key component, instead of failing, begins to function slightly better, against all engineering expectations. This minor yet significant deviation forces a reevaluation of every assumption made about the machine's inevitable breakdown. These initial unexplainable changes serve as crucial precursors, building a subtle but undeniable narrative that something profound is beginning to unfold, leading us closer to the dramatic intervention that reshapes the entire story. The shift from unexpected to miraculous often involves a dramatic and sudden turnaround that completely confounds medical professionals. This isn't a gradual improvement that could be attributed to delayed treatment effects. It's a profound and rapid change in condition that, according to all known science, simply should not happen. You might hear doctors, their voices tinged with awe and perhaps a little scientific discomfort, admitting that they cannot explain what has transpired. They might acknowledge that the patient's vitals, organ function, or disease markers have improved dramatically, moving from critical to stable, or even healthy, within an impossibly short time frame. This is where the story diverges sharply from the scientific textbook. The measurable biological parameters shift in a way that defies every prediction and every clinical expectation. It's the moment when the impossible becomes undeniably real, moving beyond mere anecdotal evidence to observable, documented fact, albeit without a medical rationale. Imagine you're watching a chess game where one player is in checkmate, utterly defeated. Then, suddenly, a piece on the board moves on its own, clearing the path, nullifying the checkmate, and completely altering the game's outcome in a way no player could have orchestrated or predicted. This profound, unexplainable turning point is precisely where many find undeniable proof of a higher power at work, moving beyond human understanding and intervention, revealing a different ending to a story that was clinically concluded. The moment the medical team concedes they have no scientific explanation for a patient's recovery is profound. You witness their clinical objectivity collide with an undeniable yet unexplainable reality. They meticulously review every test, every treatment administered, searching for a logical cause, only to find none that accounts for the dramatic shift. They might express their professional opinion that, based on all available data and medical knowledge, the patient should not have survived, or certainly not recovered, to such an extent. This admission is not a failure on their part. It is an honest acknowledgement of the limits of human science and the presence of something beyond their comprehension. This is a powerful confirmation for those who believe in divine intervention. It solidifies the idea that some events transcend the natural order and points to a supernatural hand. For you, it becomes a personal testament, an undeniable experience that challenges the purely material view of the world and opens your mind to spiritual realities. Consider a sophisticated computer program designed to predict outcomes based on vast datasets. It processes all known variables and outputs a definitive failure prediction. Yet, the system unexpectedly recovers to full functionality, despite the program's absolute certainty of failure. The program itself cannot explain this anomaly. Such experiences lay the groundwork for a deepened faith, transforming intellectual belief into a lived reality, and setting a new trajectory for understanding not only personal health, but the very nature of existence. This profound encounter often transforms the individual's perspective on faith and its role in life. Experiencing a miracle, a genuine divine intervention that overturns an impossible situation, irrevocably changes your perspective on life. You no longer view the world through the same lens of predictable cause and effect. Instead, you see the potential for the extraordinary, a testament to a power that operates beyond human limitations and understanding. This profound shift often leads to a strengthened faith, not just an intellectual assent to spiritual truths, but a deep, experiential conviction. You have seen firsthand evidence of a higher power's ability to intervene, to rewrite narratives that were seemingly set in stone. This personal encounter becomes the cornerstone of a renewed spiritual journey. You might find yourself living with a heightened sense of purpose and gratitude. Every day becomes a gift, a bonus round in a game you were told you had lost. This appreciation for life's fragility and the immense power of divine grace reshapes priorities, focusing on what truly matters rather than transient concerns. Imagine yourself having been pulled back from the brink of a sheer cliff, not by your own strength or by a visible rope, but by an unseen force. The ground beneath your feet feels firmer, the air crisper, and the sky seems more vibrant. You know, without a doubt, that you were saved by something beyond your own capacity. This strengthened faith isn't merely a private experience. It often compels you to share your story, to become a beacon of hope for others who find themselves facing their own seemingly impossible situations. This testimony itself becomes an integral part of the continuing miracle. Sharing your story, especially one of such profound intervention, becomes an act of giving back, a way to offer hope to those walking through their own dark valleys. You realize the immense power a personal testimony holds. It's not a theoretical sermon, but a living, breathing example of faith in action, demonstrating what's possible when the human ceases and the divine begins. When you share your experience, you're not boasting or seeking attention. You're fulfilling a calling to illuminate a path for others who feel lost and without options. You understand that your story might be the very spark of hope someone desperately needs to rekindle their own faith, to push through their despair, and to look beyond the immediate circumstances. This act of witnessing often clarifies your own understanding of the miracle. As you articulate the details, the despair, the turning point, and the aftermath, the profoundness of what occurred becomes even more real and meaningful. It's a process of internalizing and solidifying the divine truth you experienced. Think of yourself as a lighthouse keeper. You've navigated the storm and found safe harbor. Now your duty is to keep the light burning bright, guiding other ships through the perilous waters, sharing the knowledge that even in the darkest night there is a guiding light, a way through. This commitment to sharing your testimony organically leads to deeper discussions about the nature of divine timing, the different forms miracles can take, and how to recognize God's hand in everyday life, not just in extraordinary circumstances. While extraordinary healing is a powerful testament, it's essential to understand that divine intervention isn't always about dramatic, instantaneous cures. Miracles can manifest in various forms: a sudden clarity in a confused mind, an unexpected financial provision during extreme lack, or a profound peace that transcends understanding amidst intense suffering. You might find yourself more attuned to these subtler forms of intervention after experiencing a major one. Your eyes are open to the countless ways grace operates in the world, not just in the grand, headline-making events, but in the quiet, gentle whispers of guidance and comfort that sustain you through everyday challenges. This broadened perspective helps to manage expectations, recognizing that while God can do anything, His will and timing are not always aligned with our immediate desires. It teaches patience, discernment, and a deeper trust in a plan that often extends far beyond our limited human sight. Consider a complex tapestry. A single, vibrant thread might stand out, capturing your attention. But upon closer inspection, you realize that thousands of smaller, interwoven threads, each contributing to the pattern, are equally essential to the beauty and integrity of the whole. Each thread, a subtle miracle. Understanding these varied manifestations of divine intervention prepares you to discern God's work in your own life and in the lives of others, encouraging a deeper walk of faith that celebrates all forms of divine provision. Discerning God's will in difficult situations requires both introspection and an openness to divine guidance. It's not always about receiving a direct, audible command, but often involves a combination of prayer, studying spiritual texts, seeking wise counsel, and observing the unfolding circumstances with a discerning heart. You learn to quiet the noise of worldly anxieties and listen for that still, small voice that often speaks through intuition, a sudden understanding, or a profound sense of peace regarding a particular path. This discernment is a skill honed over time, especially after experiencing moments of direct divine intervention. It's crucial to distinguish between genuine divine guidance and wishful thinking or emotional impulses. This means grounding your discernment in established spiritual principles and seeking confirmation through multiple avenues, ensuring that your perceived direction aligns with a greater, benevolent purpose. Imagine navigating a dense forest without a compass. You could wander aimlessly, but if you pause, listen to the sounds of a distant river, feel the sun's direction, and consult an old map, you piece together clues that guide you, not through a single revelation, but through a convergence of indicators. This continuous practice of discernment, learning to recognize the subtle hand of God in your life, becomes a foundational element of a faith that is not just reactive to crisis, but proactive in seeking a deeper relationship and understanding. For many, the most profound takeaway from experiencing a miracle is a complete transformation of their faith. It shifts from something learned or inherited to something deeply personal, foundational, and unshakable. You move from believing in God to truly knowing God in a deeply experiential way, having witnessed His power firsthand. This transformed faith doesn't eliminate challenges or guarantee a life free from hardship. Instead, it equips you with an internal resilience, a certainty that even when future storms arrive, there is an anchor that holds firm. You face adversity with a different spirit, one imbued with hope and the conviction that you are never truly alone. You might find yourself inspiring others, not through mere words, but through the palpable strength and peace that emanate from your being. Your life itself becomes a living sermon, a testament to the fact that faith can move mountains, even those that appear medically insurmountable. Consider a tree whose roots have grown deep into the earth after enduring many storms. It stands taller, stronger, and more unyielding than those with shallow roots. Your faith becomes like that tree, grounded by the powerful experience of divine intervention, able to withstand future trials. This enduring strength, born from personal experience, naturally prompts a desire to understand more deeply the source of such power, leading you to explore specific spiritual practices that help maintain this profound connection and faith. Cultivating and sustaining a powerful spiritual connection after experiencing a miracle is a deliberate, ongoing effort. It involves daily practices that nurture your faith, keeping it vibrant and responsive. These aren't rigid rules, but intentional habits that help you remain aligned with the divine source you've encountered. You might find yourself committing to regular prayer and meditation, not just in times of crisis, but as a consistent conversation and quiet reflection. This helps you to stay grounded, to process life's ongoing challenges, and to maintain an open channel for divine guidance and comfort. Many also immerse themselves in sacred texts, finding wisdom and encouragement that reinforce their personal experiences. Reading stories of faith from centuries past connects you to a broader lineage of believers who have also witnessed and trusted in God's miraculous power, offering perspective and deeper understanding. Imagine tending a precious garden. It requires daily watering, weeding, and nurturing to flourish. Neglect it, and it will wither. Similarly, your spiritual life needs consistent care and attention to grow strong and bear fruit, allowing you to continually experience its beauty. These practices don't just maintain your faith, they deepen your relationship with God, allowing you to see His presence not just in the extraordinary, but in the subtle blessings and daily provisions that often go unnoticed, thereby preparing you for further spiritual growth. As your faith deepens, you often become more sensitive to the subtle signs and whispers of divine presence in your everyday life. Miracles aren't always colossal events. Sometimes they are in the perfectly timed encounter, the unexpected provision, or the gentle nudge that steers you away from harm. You start to recognize patterns, noticing how things just work out in ways that seem more than mere coincidence. This heightened awareness transforms ordinary moments into opportunities to acknowledge and thank a benevolent hand at work, fostering a continuous posture of gratitude. This sensitivity allows you to walk through life with an underlying sense of peace and assurance, knowing that you are watched over and cared for, even when circumstances are challenging. It's a profound shift from feeling alone to feeling perpetually supported, understanding that even minor blessings are significant. Think of an artist who trains their eye to see beauty in the mundane, the play of light on a leaf, the intricate pattern of a spider web. What others might overlook, the artist perceives as a masterpiece. Similarly, you begin to perceive the divine artistry in the ordinary fabric of your days. This continuous awareness of God's presence leads to a deeper understanding of gratitude, shifting your focus from what is lacking to the abundance of blessings, no matter how small, and preparing you to share this perspective with others who might be struggling. The voice over heartbreak. Living with an attitude of profound gratitude, especially after experiencing a miracle, fundamentally reshapes your daily existence. It's not about ignoring challenges, but about choosing to focus on the blessings, even amidst trials. This conscious choice cultivates a positive outlook and strengthens your emotional and spiritual resilience. You find yourself thanking God not just for the grand intervention, but for the sunrise, for a warm meal, for the health of loved ones, for the simple fact of being alive. This daily practice of thanksgiving reorients your mind, moving away from complaints and toward appreciation, attracting more positivity into your life. This gratitude also spills over into your interactions with others. You become more compassionate, more patient, and more generous, recognizing that every kindness extended is a reflection of the grace you yourself have received. It's a ripple effect, transforming not just you, but your community. Imagine a fountain that continuously flows, not just giving water, but also reflecting light, creating rainbows. Your gratitude becomes that fountain, an endless source of joy and reflection that illuminates your life and brings color to the lives of those around you. This overflowing gratitude naturally inspires a desire to give back, to serve others, and to use your experience to uplift and encourage those who are still waiting for their own miracles, further solidifying the purpose you found in your survival. Giving back and serving others becomes a natural extension of a life transformed by a miracle. Your experience has equipped you with a unique empathy and understanding for those enduring their own impossible situations. You know firsthand the despair, the fear, and the longing for hope. You might find yourself drawn to volunteer in hospitals, support groups, or spiritual communities, offering your story as a beacon. Your presence alone, as someone who has walked through fire and emerged, can provide immense comfort and a tangible demonstration of resilience and divine grace. This service is not about self-aggrandizement. It's a heartfelt response to the gift of life and renewed faith. You share practical advice, offer a listening ear, and simply sit in solidarity, demonstrating that even when doctors say there's no hope, there can still be a different ending. Consider a seasoned guide who has navigated treacherous terrain. They don't just tell you about the path, they walk alongside you, pointing out hidden dangers, offering a steady hand, and reassuring you that the summit is reachable because they have reached it themselves. This commitment to service reinforces the broader message that suffering can be transformed into purpose and despair into hope, thereby providing a powerful platform for continuing to share the core message of divine intervention. The central message woven through these experiences is clear. The impossible is just the ground where God works. This isn't a cliché, it's a truth validated by personal experience, an understanding that human limitations are precisely where divine power often manifests most spectacularly. When doctors, scientists, or any human authority declares a situation hopeless, it signals the end of human capability. But for those of faith, it marks the beginning of divine possibility. This perspective shifts fear into anticipation, despair into defiant hope, knowing that even the bleakest outlook can be rewritten. You're encouraged to adopt this mindset, not as an escape from reality, but as a profound truth to embrace when facing your own insurmountable obstacles. It's a reminder that there's a higher power at play, one that can transcend logic, defy statistics, and reshape what appears to be an unalterable fate. Imagine a vast, barren desert. To human eyes, it seems lifeless, incapable of supporting growth. Yet, with a touch of divine intervention, water springs forth, and in its wake, an oasis blossoms, transforming the desolate into a vibrant testament to unseen power. This understanding becomes a foundational principle, empowering you to approach future challenges with a renewed sense of courage and trust, knowing that every limitation you encounter is merely an invitation for a divine display of power. When you internalize the belief that the impossible is just the ground where God works, your approach to problem-solving and life challenges fundamentally transforms. You don't ignore practical steps, but you also don't limit your expectations to purely human solutions. You maintain an openness to divine intervention, even in the mundane. This perspective encourages you to pray fervently and trust deeply, even when the path ahead is unclear or filled with uncertainty. It cultivates a resilient spirit, one that refuses to be defeated by obstacles that appear overwhelming to the natural eye, because your hope is anchored in the supernatural. You might find yourself speaking words of faith and possibility into situations that others deem lost causes. Your testimony becomes a source of inspiration, demonstrating that a different ending is always possible when you surrender to a power greater than your own, actively seeking divine guidance. Consider an architect who designs a building on solid ground. Now imagine an architect who can also envision a structure that defies gravity, built on air, because they understand a power beyond earthly physics. Your faith allows you to envision possibilities far beyond conventional limits. Embracing this powerful truth reshapes your daily walk, inspiring you to actively seek God's hand in every aspect of your life, from the smallest decision to the greatest challenge, leading you to a deeper understanding of active faith. Active faith, born from experiencing the impossible, is more than just belief. It's a dynamic engagement with the divine. It means proactively seeking God's presence, listening for His guidance, and courageously stepping out in obedience, even when the path ahead seems uncertain or defies logical explanation. You learn that faith isn't passive, it requires action. This could mean praying for healing while simultaneously seeking the best medical care, or pursuing a dream despite overwhelming odds, trusting that divine assistance will pave the way where human efforts fall short. It's a partnership between human effort and divine power. This journey teaches you the importance of patience and perseverance. Not all prayers are answered instantly, nor do all miracles manifest in the dramatic fashion of a sudden reversal of a terminal diagnosis. Sometimes, the miracle is the strength to endure, the wisdom to navigate, or the grace to accept. Imagine a climber ascending a mountain. They diligently train, pack essential gear, and follow the safest routes. But at certain points, they rely on an invisible rope, trusting it will hold when their own grip falters, knowing an unseen belayer is always present, securing their ascent. This active engagement with faith deepens your relationship with God, allowing you to walk through life with greater purpose and less fear, understanding that every challenge is an opportunity for His power to be revealed. The challenges you encounter after a miracle are often different, but no less significant. You're now navigating life with a profound story, a visible scar of what you've overcome, and the ongoing responsibility of living out your renewed purpose. This isn't merely about surviving, but thriving and using your experience for good. You might face moments where doubt tries to creep back in, questioning whether your miracle was a fluke or whether such divine intervention could happen again. This is a normal part of the human experience, and it's precisely where your daily spiritual practices become crucial, grounding you in truth. This period requires a continuous reliance on God's grace for strength and wisdom, not just for grand miracles, but for the resilience to face everyday life with courage and integrity. It's a testament to the ongoing nature of faith, which is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey of trust and surrender. Consider a ship that has weathered a massive storm. It has reached safe harbor, but it still needs to be maintained, its sails checked, and its course continually plotted to navigate new waters, always remembering the power of the storm and the miraculous hand that guided it through. Living a life of ongoing faith involves embracing these new challenges, understanding that each one presents another opportunity to witness God's faithfulness and to strengthen your conviction in His benevolent plan. The profound impact of witnessing a miracle extends beyond your personal life, influencing your relationships and your role within your community. Your story becomes a living example, a source of inspiration for friends, family, and even strangers who hear your testimony and see the tangible evidence of God's power. You might find yourself becoming a confidant, a source of comfort for others navigating their own crises. Your ability to speak from experience, to say, "I understand," carries immense weight, offering a unique blend of empathy and unwavering hope that few others can provide. This expanded role often comes with a sense of responsibility to live a life that honors the grace you received. It's not about perfection, but about striving to reflect the love and compassion that were so abundantly bestowed upon you, becoming an instrument of peace and encouragement. Imagine a clear mountain spring. Its waters are pure and refreshing, and as they flow downstream, they nourish the land, sustaining life and bringing vitality to everything they touch. Your transformed life becomes like that spring, a source of life and renewal for those around you. This influence leads to an even deeper exploration of the spiritual principles that govern divine intervention, helping you to articulate not just what happened, but why such miracles occur according to spiritual wisdom. Exploring the spiritual principles behind divine intervention moves beyond simply acknowledging a miracle to understanding the context and conditions often associated with such occurrences. While God's sovereignty means He can act however and whenever He chooses, faith traditions often highlight common threads. You might observe that miracles frequently manifest in moments of deep human desperation, when all earthly avenues are exhausted, compelling a complete reliance on God. This suggests that the impossible often serves as a canvas for the display of divine power rather than just a challenge. Furthermore, a posture of genuine humility, surrender, and persistent prayer often precedes such breakthroughs. It's not a transactional exchange, but an alignment of the human spirit with the divine will, expressing complete trust even in the face of insurmountable odds. Consider a powerful current flowing through a river. You can fight against it, or you can align your boat with its direction, allowing its immense power to carry you forward with ease. Spiritual principles are often about aligning with a divine flow. Understanding these principles can offer profound insight not only into past miracles, but also into how you can cultivate an environment for divine intervention in future challenges, encouraging a proactive spiritual stance. Cultivating a proactive spiritual stance means not waiting for crisis to engage deeply with your faith, but consistently nurturing your relationship with God through all seasons of life. It's about building a spiritual foundation strong enough to withstand future storms, rather than frantically trying to construct one when the tempest hits. You'll discover the immense value in consistent prayer, meditation, and spiritual study, not just as duties, but as vital lifelines that keep you connected to the source of all power. These practices help you to stay spiritually sensitive, prepared to receive guidance and grace. This proactive approach fosters a deep sense of peace and preparedness. You understand that challenges will inevitably arise, but you face them from a position of strength, anchored in your faith and in the knowledge that you have already witnessed God's hand in the impossible. Imagine a homeowner who diligently maintains their property, reinforcing foundations, checking the roof, and tending the garden. When a storm comes, their home is prepared, not immune to damage, but resilient enough to endure, because of consistent prior effort. This continuous growth in faith and understanding equips you to not only survive but thrive, becoming a testament to enduring hope and the boundless possibilities that emerge when you trust in God's power, leading to a deeper understanding of legacy. Leaving a legacy of faith, particularly after experiencing a miracle, transcends personal survival. It's about consciously shaping how your story and your strengthened convictions will impact future generations and inspire those who come after you. Your life becomes a powerful narrative of divine grace. You might find yourself documenting your experience, perhaps through writing, speaking, or mentorship, ensuring that the details of God's intervention are preserved and shared. This deliberate act of storytelling ensures that the testament of the impossible becoming possible lives on, echoing through time. This legacy isn't about fame. It's about imparting hope, resilience, and an unwavering belief in a power greater than oneself. You aim to show others that even when the world says no, God can always say yes, and that faith is the key to unlocking extraordinary outcomes. Consider an ancient tree whose roots run deep, providing shade and sustenance for many generations. It stands as a silent witness to time, its very existence a testament to endurance and life. Your legacy becomes like that tree, a living symbol of profound spiritual truth. This forward-looking perspective naturally leads to considering how your experience might apply to the broader challenges humanity faces, from global crises to personal struggles, fostering a sense of shared human experience. The lessons learned from a personal miracle extend far beyond individual circumstances, offering profound insights into universal human struggles and the nature of hope itself. Whether facing a global pandemic, societal upheaval, or deeply personal challenges, the core message remains relevant. Even in the darkest hours, divine intervention is possible. You begin to see threads of your own story mirrored in the experiences of others, understanding that despair is a universal human emotion, and the search for meaning and hope is a fundamental human need. Your narrative becomes a bridge, connecting you to countless individuals across different walks of life. This broader perspective fosters empathy and compassion, prompting you to engage with the suffering of the world not with cynicism, but with a heart full of hope and a profound belief in transformative power. You become an advocate for faith, not just in theory, but as a lived reality. Imagine looking at a vast ocean. Your own struggle was like navigating a single powerful wave. Now you see that countless waves rise and fall, each one unique, yet all part of the same immense body of water, connected by the same forces, and all capable of carrying vessels to distant shores. This expanded awareness invites you to consider how God's hand might be at work in collective struggles, prompting us to seek broader applications of faith and prayer for societal challenges, not just individual ones. Applying the principles of faith and divine intervention to broader societal challenges means shifting your perspective from individual problems to collective ones, understanding that the same power that transforms personal impossibilities can also influence global issues. It's a call to expand your prayer beyond your immediate circle. You might find yourself praying for peace in war-torn regions, for wisdom for leaders, or for breakthroughs in addressing systemic injustices and suffering. This isn't naive idealism, but a deeply rooted belief that God's power extends to all areas of human experience, even the most complex and intractable. This practice encourages collective action, inspiring communities of faith to come together in prayer, advocacy, and service, believing that their combined efforts, coupled with divine grace, can indeed bring about positive change on a larger scale. It's a testament to the power of unity in faith. Consider a vast forest where countless individual trees stand. A single tree can withstand a storm, but a united forest forms a powerful ecosystem, capable of influencing climate, purifying air, and providing shelter on a massive scale. Collective faith acts similarly. This global perspective challenges you to move beyond personal comfort zones, to engage with the world's pain with a spirit of hope and active prayer, ultimately preparing you for a deeper reflection on the purpose of such extraordinary experiences. Reflecting on the deeper purpose of such extraordinary experiences, like facing a terminal prognosis and defying it, reveals that miracles are not just about individual healing, but often serve as powerful catalysts for spiritual growth, both for the individual and for those who witness it. They underscore fundamental truths about God's nature and humanity's place in the divine plan. You realize that your survival wasn't just a reprieve, it was a divine assignment. It transformed you into a living testament, a walking example of God's limitless power and unconditional love. Your experience now carries the weight of a divine message, intended to inspire and awaken faith in others. This understanding provides profound meaning to your suffering and recovery, affirming that even in the darkest moments, there is a sovereign purpose unfolding. It shifts your focus from "why me" to "what now, God?", prompting you to live a life fully surrendered to this greater calling. Imagine a beautifully crafted instrument that was once broken beyond repair. Its restoration isn't just about functionality. It's about its ability to produce music, to bring joy and inspiration to listeners. Your life, similarly, is now tuned to a higher purpose, to produce a melody of faith. This profound realization prompts you to continually seek how you can best fulfill this divine assignment, always leaning into the truth that the impossible truly is God's favorite canvas. Living out your divine assignment means consciously dedicating your life to glorifying God through your testimony and actions, continuously demonstrating that the impossible is indeed His specialty. It's a lifelong commitment to being a beacon of hope and a channel of His love. You commit to maintaining the spiritual disciplines that strengthened your faith, ensuring that your connection to God remains vibrant and responsive. This consistent nourishment ensures that you are always prepared to share your story and offer encouragement, drawing from a deep well of personal experience. This involves being transparent about your journey, including moments of doubt and struggle, because authenticity builds trust and allows others to see themselves in your story. You show that faith isn't about perfection, but about perseverance and unwavering trust in God's unchanging character. Consider a seasoned storyteller. They don't just recount events, they weave emotions, lessons, and profound truths into their narrative, making it come alive for the listener, inspiring and transforming their perspective. Your life becomes such a story, told through your actions and words. This continuous commitment to your divine assignment leads to an ever-deepening reliance on God, not just for grand miracles, but for daily strength and wisdom, further solidifying your belief in His omnipresent grace. The omnipresent grace of God is not limited to dramatic interventions. It's a continuous, sustaining force that underpins every moment of your life, especially after experiencing a miracle. You become acutely aware of His constant presence, His guiding hand, and His unwavering support, even in the quietest moments. You learn to recognize grace in the smallest details, the comfort of a friend, a perfectly timed word of encouragement, or the unexpected peace that washes over you in a challenging situation. This awareness cultivates a daily consciousness of God's active involvement in your world. This constant sense of grace fosters deep peace, alleviating anxieties and allowing you to face life's uncertainties with a calm assurance. You know that even when you stumble, you are held, forgiven, and continually offered new beginnings, because His mercy is endless. Imagine a gentle, consistent rain falling on thirsty ground. It doesn't create a flood, but it steadily nourishes, allowing life to flourish and grow strong over time. God's omnipresent grace is like that rain, continuously providing what you need to thrive. This daily experience of grace strengthens your resolve to live a life reflective of the hope you found, encouraging you to engage more deeply in spiritual community and shared faith experiences. Engaging deeply in spiritual community after a life-altering experience provides invaluable support, accountability, and shared purpose. You discover the immense strength that comes from connecting with others who share your faith and who understand the power of collective prayer and testimony. You contribute your unique perspective and experience, enriching the collective faith of the community. Your story becomes a powerful tool, encouraging those who are struggling and reminding everyone of God's limitless capacity to intervene in seemingly impossible situations. This communal aspect of faith ensures that you are never alone on your journey. There are others to celebrate with during triumphs and to uplift you during moments of doubt or hardship, creating a network of support that reinforces your convictions and keeps your spirit vibrant. Consider a strong, interwoven rope. Each individual strand might be vulnerable on its own, but together they form an unbreakable cord, capable of bearing immense weight and providing secure anchorage. Your spiritual community is that powerful rope. This shared journey deepens your understanding of faith's collective power, preparing you to articulate the profound difference that a God-centric perspective makes in facing any life challenge. A God-centric perspective fundamentally reshapes how you perceive and respond to any life challenge, transforming fear into faith and obstacles into opportunities for divine display. You no longer view problems as insurmountable walls, but as canvases upon which God can paint His miraculous solutions. You approach difficulties with a serene confidence, understanding that while human efforts are important, ultimate outcomes rest in a higher hand. This doesn't mean passively waiting. It means actively engaging with the situation while simultaneously entrusting it fully to God's sovereign plan. This perspective fosters an unshakable inner peace, allowing you to remain calm and focused even amidst chaos. You know that no matter how dire the circumstances appear, God's love and power are always at work, orchestrating events for your ultimate good. Imagine looking at a vast, intricate puzzle. You see only scattered pieces, but an artist sees the finished masterpiece. A God-centric perspective is like seeing the world through the artist's eyes, understanding that every piece, even the challenging ones, fits into a larger, beautiful design. This profound trust frees you from the burden of trying to control every outcome, allowing you to rest in the certainty that the impossible is merely the ground where God begins His work. Resting in the certainty that the impossible is merely the ground where God begins His work is not a passive surrender, but an active, empowered state of being. It's a deep trust that allows you to release anxiety and embrace peace, knowing that a higher power is orchestrating events beyond your comprehension. You find freedom from the need to have all the answers or to control every variable. This liberation allows you to live more fully in the present moment, experiencing joy and gratitude rather than being consumed by worry about future outcomes that are beyond your control. This trust becomes a wellspring of courage, enabling you to step out in faith and pursue opportunities that might seem daunting to others. You operate from a place of divine confidence, knowing that you are never truly alone and that every step is guided. Consider a bird perched on a slender branch. It doesn't fear the branch breaking because it trusts its wings. Your trust in God is like those wings, giving you the ability to soar above life's uncertainties, knowing you are always supported. This profound trust in divine power naturally leads to a life of greater joy and purpose, prompting you to share the secrets of this peace with others who are still grappling with their own insurmountable challenges. Sharing the peace you've found with others who are grappling with seemingly insurmountable challenges is a vital extension of your journey. Your transformed life becomes a living testimony, offering not just a story, but a pathway to inner calm and unwavering hope for those in despair. You learn to listen with deep empathy, acknowledging their pain and validating their struggles, without immediately offering platitudes. Your presence alone, as someone who has navigated similar depths, provides a profound sense of understanding and connection that can be incredibly healing. Then, gently, you introduce the concept of looking beyond human limitations, sharing how your own experience demonstrated that there's always a possibility for a different ending when you invite divine intervention. It's an invitation to explore faith, not a demand. Imagine offering a thirsty traveler a cup of cool water. You don't force them to drink, but you present the refreshing option, knowing it can alleviate their parched throat. Your shared peace is that cool water, offered freely and without pressure. This empathetic approach to sharing your faith naturally fosters deeper connections and allows for more profound conversations about resilience, hope, and the true meaning of a life touched by divine grace. The true meaning of a life touched by divine grace extends beyond the initial miracle. It encompasses the continuous journey of transformation, gratitude, and purpose that follows. It's about living each day as a testament to God's love and power, embodying the hope you received. You learn that grace is not a one-time event, but an ongoing flow of divine favor and strength that empowers you to face every new day, every new challenge, with renewed courage and a peaceful heart. It's the fuel that sustains your testimony. This deepened understanding of grace cultivates a humble spirit, recognizing that your strength comes not from yourself, but from the divine source. It fosters a desire to continuously grow in faith, learning more about God's character and His incredible plan for humanity. Consider a beautiful river, constantly flowing, constantly renewing itself, yet always maintaining its essential nature. A life touched by grace is like that river, continuously flowing with renewed purpose and strength, yet always rooted in its divine source. This continuous growth in grace leads to a more profound appreciation for every moment and a steadfast commitment to living a life that reflects the extraordinary kindness and power you encountered, always looking for opportunities to serve. Every opportunity to serve, no matter how small, becomes a way to honor the divine grace you've received and to actively spread hope in the world. Whether it's lending a listening ear, offering practical help, or simply sharing a kind word, these acts of service are extensions of your faith. You understand that serving others is not just a duty, but a privilege. It allows you to transform your personal experience of miracle into a tangible blessing for someone else, creating a ripple effect of compassion and divine love that touches countless lives. This commitment to service reinforces your own faith, reminding you that you are a vessel for God's work and that your life has been spared and transformed for a purpose far greater than yourself. It keeps your heart aligned with gratitude and humility. Imagine a gardener who tends a beautiful plot. They don't just admire the flowers, they share them, giving bouquets to neighbors, knowing that the joy they bring is a reflection of the love put into growing them. Your service is like those flowers, bringing joy and beauty to others. This active engagement in serving others naturally brings you back to the core message, that even the most desolate situations can become fertile ground for divine intervention. When reflecting on the overarching narrative, it becomes clear that even the most desolate situations, the ones deemed impossible by all human measure, are precisely where divine intervention shines brightest. This is not a coincidence. It's a profound pattern embedded in countless stories of faith throughout history. You are living proof that God specializes in taking what is broken, what is lost, what is terminal, and breathing new life into it, reshaping outcomes that were thought to be unalterable. Your journey from despair to miraculous recovery is a powerful testament to this truth. This understanding provides immense comfort and encouragement, knowing that no matter what impossible situation you or your loved ones might face, there is always a transcendent hope, a power beyond comprehension ready to intervene when all other avenues close. Consider a master artist who sees a blank canvas not as emptiness, but as an opportunity for their greatest work. The more barren the canvas, the more profound the transformation when their genius is applied. Your impossible situation is that blank canvas for God. This profound realization culminates in an unwavering conviction that God truly does write the best endings to our stories, even when doctors and circumstances suggest otherwise, leading to the ultimate purpose of this shared testimony. The ultimate purpose of sharing this testimony is to ignite and strengthen your faith, compelling you to believe in the limitless possibilities of divine intervention in your own life. It's an invitation to trust, even when logic dictates despair, and to hope beyond what the eyes can see. You are encouraged to hold on to this truth, that your story, like mine, is still being written, and God, the ultimate author, has the power to pen a different ending than the one the world predicts. His love and power are not bound by human limitations or medical prognoses. This message is for you, especially if you are currently facing an impossible situation. May this story serve as a beacon of light, reminding you that there is always hope, always a way for the miraculous to unfold when you place your trust in God. Think of this story as a key. It doesn't open every door immediately, but it unlocks the possibility of a different path, a hidden door that leads to unexpected freedom and joy, a path you might not have known existed. May your faith be profoundly strengthened, knowing that the impossible is just the ground where God works, and may you find the courage to believe for your own divine ending. Embracing the truth that the impossible is just the ground where God works equips you with a powerful spiritual lens through which to view all of life's challenges. This perspective doesn't deny the reality of difficulties, but it reframes them as potential opportunities for divine intervention, fostering resilience and hope. You learn to cultivate an inner posture of expectation, not of guaranteed outcomes, but of an openness to God's will and power, manifesting in ways you might not anticipate. This anticipation replaces fear with a profound peace, knowing that you are always held within His sovereign plan. This mindset empowers you to move forward with courage, even when the path ahead is uncertain or filled with obstacles. It reinforces the idea that even in moments of perceived weakness, you can draw upon an infinite strength that transcends your own capabilities. Consider a small boat caught in a vast ocean storm. Its crew could panic, but if they know the captain has navigated impossible seas before, their fear transforms into trust, allowing them to follow instructions and weather the tempest with confidence. This enduring trust becomes a cornerstone of your daily walk, inspiring you to reflect on historical examples of faith that further illustrate God's consistent track record of turning impossibilities into profound testimonies. Reflecting on historical examples of faith, you'll find countless narratives that echo the same profound truth. God consistently works in the realm of the impossible. From ancient scriptures to modern-day testimonies, stories abound where insurmountable odds were overcome through divine intervention. You might recall stories of individuals facing overwhelming armies, incurable diseases, or famine, only to witness miraculous deliverances and provisions. These historical accounts serve as powerful anchors, reinforcing your personal experience and providing a broader context for divine action. These shared narratives build a cumulative case for faith, demonstrating that God's character is consistent and His power is unchanging across generations. They remind you that your personal miracle is not an isolated event, but part of a larger, ongoing tapestry of divine grace. Imagine a vast library filled with books of heroic tales. Each book tells a unique story of triumph against adversity, but all share a common theme: the hero's ultimate victory. These historical accounts are like those books, each a testament to an enduring power. Understanding this rich history strengthens your personal conviction, empowering you to share your story with even greater confidence, knowing it aligns with a long-standing tradition of divine encounters. Sharing your story with greater confidence becomes a natural outflow of your strengthened faith and understanding of divine history. You realize that your personal narrative holds significant weight, not just as a unique event, but as a continuation of a timeless truth about God's power and faithfulness. You articulate your testimony with clarity and conviction, allowing your genuine experience to resonate deeply with listeners. Your words carry authenticity, drawing people in and offering them a tangible glimpse of hope in their own struggles, because you've truly been there. This confident sharing often sparks conversations, encourages questions, and opens doors for others to explore their own faith journey. You become a living bridge between human despair and divine possibility, connecting hearts to a source of strength they might not have known existed. Consider an explorer who has returned from an uncharted land, bearing treasures and incredible stories. They speak with the authority of experience, captivating their audience and inspiring others to embark on their own journeys of discovery. Your testimony is such an expedition. This active role in inspiring others naturally leads to contemplating the broader implications of faith in shaping culture and fostering resilience within communities. Contemplating the broader implications of faith for shaping culture and fostering community resilience reveals the transformative power that extends beyond individual lives. When individuals and communities embrace the truth of divine intervention, it cultivates a spirit of hope and mutual support that can withstand immense societal pressures. You observe how communities rooted in faith often demonstrate extraordinary resilience in the face of disasters, social challenges, or economic hardship. Their collective belief in a higher power provides an anchor, enabling them to rebuild, restore, and support one another with unwavering commitment. This communal strength is born from a shared understanding that human efforts, while crucial, are empowered and guided by a divine plan. It fosters a culture of compassion, service, and perseverance, creating environments where people feel supported and hopeful, even amidst adversity. Imagine a complex ecosystem where every element, from the smallest plant to the largest animal, plays a vital role, all interconnected and supported by a life-giving source. A faith-driven community acts similarly, each member contributing to a thriving, resilient whole. This understanding of collective faith underscores the importance of actively participating in and contributing to such communities, strengthening the fabric of society, and continually drawing upon the divine for inspiration and strength. Drawing upon the divine for inspiration and strength is not a sporadic act, but a continuous wellspring that fuels your life's purpose and empowers your engagement with the world. After experiencing a miracle, you learn to consciously tap into this source daily, recognizing it as essential for sustained resilience and joy. You realize that inspiration doesn't just come from external events, but from an internal connection to a higher wisdom, guiding your decisions and illuminating your path. This internal compass becomes your most trusted guide, providing clarity amidst confusion and peace amidst chaos. This strength empowers you to pursue endeavors that align with your divine assignment, knowing that you are not relying solely on your own limited abilities. It allows you to face challenges with confidence, understanding that the same power that worked the miracle is still actively at work within you. Consider a rechargeable battery that constantly draws power from a renewable source. It never fully depletes, always ready to provide energy for its purpose. Your spirit, drawing from the divine, becomes like that battery, perpetually renewed and ready for what lies ahead. This continuous spiritual nourishment positions you to consistently provide encouragement and tangible hope to others who are still navigating their own moments of despair and perceived impossibility. Providing encouragement and tangible hope to others navigating despair is a sacred responsibility, deeply ingrained after your own miraculous experience. You become a living bridge between what seems impossible and what God makes possible, offering a hand up and a word of life. You choose your words carefully, knowing their immense power. Instead of empty platitudes, you share genuine empathy, practical wisdom drawn from your journey, and the unwavering conviction that God is capable of intervening in even the most dire circumstances. This active encouragement is not just verbal. It's expressed through your actions, your presence, and the genuine hope that emanates from you. You demonstrate that despair does not have the final say, and that faith provides a powerful alternative narrative. Imagine a person standing in a dark, cold cave, feeling utterly lost. You, having found your way out, return to the entrance, shining a light, extending your hand, and guiding them toward the warmth and light you've discovered. That is the essence of offering tangible hope. This continuous act of giving back reinforces the profound truth that your miracle was not just for you, but for all those whose lives you touch, continually affirming that the impossible is just the ground where God works. The profound truth that the impossible is just the ground where God works isn't merely a comforting thought. It's a verifiable reality evidenced by countless testimonies, including your own. This conviction transcends wishful thinking, becoming a foundational principle for navigating life's most daunting challenges. You understand that this truth liberates you from the confines of human logic and scientific limitations, opening your mind to a realm of infinite possibilities where divine power operates. It instills a fearless approach to life, knowing that no situation is truly beyond redemption or transformation. This belief empowers you to live with audacious faith, praying for outcomes that seem humanly improbable, and acting on divine prompts that others might dismiss as unrealistic. Your life becomes a bold declaration of God's sovereignty and His capacity to redefine what is possible. Consider a grand symphony. While individual musicians play their parts, the conductor, with a single gesture, can bring forth a magnificent crescendo that transcends the sum of its individual notes. God conducts the symphony of life, turning discord into harmony. This unwavering conviction forms the bedrock of a life dedicated to inspiring others, inviting them to reconsider their own limiting beliefs and embrace the boundless hope found in divine intervention. Inviting others to reconsider their limiting beliefs and embrace boundless hope is a core aspect of living out your transformed purpose. You recognize that many people are constrained not by their actual circumstances, but by their perception of what is possible, often shaped by past disappointments or societal narratives. You gently challenge these limitations by sharing your own story, illustrating how a profound shift in belief, coupled with unwavering faith, can lead to outcomes that defy all rational expectation. It's an offering of a new perspective, a different lens through which to view life. This invitation is delivered with compassion and understanding, acknowledging that fear and doubt are powerful forces. Yet you steadfastly point to the evidence of a higher power that specializes in turning around what seems irreversible, encouraging them to take a leap of faith. Imagine a child who believes they cannot cross a wide stream. You, having crossed it many times, show them a hidden path of stepping stones, encouraging them to try, revealing that their perceived limitation was not a true barrier. This encouragement provides a crucial turning point for many, leading them to a personal exploration of faith and a renewed sense of possibility for their own lives and circumstances. A renewed sense of possibility for your own life and circumstances is the enduring gift that follows such a profound experience. You emerge from the crucible of the impossible, not just physically restored, but spiritually reborn, viewing every day as a canvas for God's ongoing work. You now approach future challenges with a profound calm, knowing that you have already witnessed the extraordinary. This inner peace allows you to navigate uncertainties with grace and confidence, always anchored in the truth that God's power is limitless. This transformation also inspires you to encourage others, sharing your insights and standing as a living testimony to the fact that divine intervention is real and accessible. Your life becomes a beacon, radiating hope and reminding everyone that God is the author of new beginnings. Think of a seed that has broken through the hardened earth to reach the sunlight. It carries the memory of darkness, but its focus is on growth, blooming, and reaching for the sky, fulfilling its inherent potential. Your renewed life is that blossoming seed. This profound and ongoing transformation strengthens your commitment to live a life that glorifies God and consistently points to Him as the source of all hope, reminding you of the incredible opportunity you've been given. The incredible opportunity you've been given is not merely an extension of life, but a chance to live a life of amplified purpose, intentionally reflecting the divine grace that preserved and transformed you. It's a daily invitation to partner with God in His ongoing work in the world. You understand that your story carries a unique weight, a powerful resonance that can break through cynicism and rekindle dying embers of hope in others. This realization empowers you to speak out, to share, and to serve with an unwavering passion. This enhanced sense of purpose reshapes your priorities, focusing on what truly matters, deepening your relationship with God, nurturing meaningful connections, and contributing positively to the lives of those around you. It's a legacy built on faith, hope, and love. Imagine being granted a second chance to paint a masterpiece after your first attempt was ruined. You approach the new canvas with heightened focus, profound gratitude, and a deeper understanding of the beauty you can create. Your life is that second chance masterpiece. This profound understanding cultivates a continuous hunger for spiritual growth, deepening your wisdom and discernment in ways that extend far beyond your initial miracle. Cultivating continuous spiritual growth after a miracle involves a deliberate commitment to lifelong learning, prayer, and reflection. You realize that the initial intervention was a powerful moment, but true transformation is an ongoing process of aligning your heart and mind with God's will. You dedicate yourself to exploring sacred texts, listening to spiritual teachings, and engaging in deep personal introspection, always seeking to understand God's character and purposes more fully. This intellectual and spiritual curiosity fuels your journey. This continuous growth allows you to face new challenges with increasing wisdom and grace, drawing upon a continually replenished wellspring of divine understanding. You learn to interpret life's events through a spiritual lens, seeing God's hand even in subtle details. Consider a tree that continuously grows, sending its roots deeper and its branches higher, becoming more stable and fruitful with each passing season. Your spiritual growth is like that tree, ever expanding, ever strengthening, and ever more fruitful. This commitment to growth further equips you to mentor and guide others, sharing not just your story of miracle, but the ongoing principles of faith that sustain a life of divine purpose. Mentoring and guiding others who are navigating their own difficult paths becomes a natural and deeply rewarding extension of your spiritual journey. Having walked through the valley of the shadow yourself, you possess a unique empathy and wisdom to offer those who feel lost. You provide practical encouragement, share personal insights, and most importantly, point them toward the same source of hope and power that delivered you. Your mentorship is grounded in genuine experience, not just theoretical advice, making it profoundly impactful. This act of guiding others reinforces your own faith as you articulate and demonstrate the principles that led to your miracle. It's a process of solidifying your convictions and living out your divine assignment with intentionality and compassion. Imagine being a seasoned mountain guide. You don't just tell new climbers to be strong. You show them the best routes, teach them essential techniques, and offer a steady hand when they falter, drawing from your own experiences to lead them safely. This dedication to mentorship ensures that your testimony continues to bear fruit, fostering a continuous cycle of hope and transformation within your community, always leading back to the core message of divine possibility. The continuous cycle of hope and transformation within your community is a profound testament to the ripple effect of a single miracle. Your story doesn't end with your healing. It becomes a catalyst, inspiring others to believe, to pray, and to witness their own impossible situations turn into powerful declarations of faith. You observe how individuals, once despairing, begin to embrace hope, actively seeking God's intervention in their lives. This collective shift creates a vibrant atmosphere of faith where testimonies are shared, prayers are fervently offered, and divine encounters are anticipated. This transformation fosters a stronger, more resilient community, one that is bonded by shared faith and a collective understanding that the impossible is merely a preamble to God's greatest works. It's a vibrant ecosystem of encouragement and divine possibility. Consider a small stone dropped into a calm pond. The initial splash is your miracle, but the ever-widening circles are the continuous hope and transformation that spread throughout your community, touching every shore. This beautiful cycle brings us to the ultimate message, reinforcing the absolute certainty that in God's hands, every story, no matter how grim its beginning, holds the promise of a glorious, divinely written ending. In God's hands, every story, no matter how grim its beginning, holds the promise of a glorious, divinely written ending. This is the profound truth that anchors your hope and transforms your perspective on life's most daunting challenges. Your own journey from a death sentence to renewed life is the clearest evidence of this. You now understand that human diagnoses and predictions are not the final word. There is a higher authority, a divine author, who holds the pen to your narrative, capable of rewriting any chapter, no matter how bleak it appears, with grace, power, and boundless love. This empowers you to face any future storm with unwavering faith, knowing that even when darkness surrounds you, God is meticulously crafting a path forward, a resolution that surpasses all human expectation and understanding. His endings are always perfect. Imagine a masterful playwright. They introduce conflict, despair, and seemingly insurmountable odds for their characters. But you know, as the audience, that the playwright has a brilliant resolution in mind, an ending that will leave everyone inspired and deeply moved. God is that playwright. Hold on to this truth. The doctors said you wouldn't see the sunrise, but God wrote a different ending to your story, and He can write a different ending to yours too. This belief that God writes different endings is not an escape from reality, but a profound embrace of a higher reality. It empowers you to live with an audacious faith, knowing that even when medical science or any human solution reaches its limits, there is still an avenue for divine intervention. You are encouraged to cling to this truth, especially when facing your own insurmountable challenges. Let it be the foundation of your hope, the source of your peace, and the fuel for your prayers. God's power transcends human understanding, and His love knows no bounds. So, when the world, or even well-meaning professionals, delivers a grim prognosis, remember this story. Remember that the impossible is just the ground where God works. Your faith is not naive. It's anchored in the verifiable testimony of lives transformed. Consider the metaphor of a closed door. To human eyes, it's an impenetrable barrier. But with divine intervention, that door can be opened, or an entirely new path can be revealed, leading to possibilities you never imagined. May this testimony inspire you to seek God's different ending for your own story, to pray with renewed vigor, and to trust that even in the face of absolute impossibility, hope always remains. Seeking God's different ending for your own story begins with a conscious decision to surrender control and embrace faith, even when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. It's a profound act of trust, acknowledging that your finite understanding is no match for His infinite wisdom and power. You are invited to lay down your worries, your fears, and your limited perceptions, placing them into the hands of a benevolent God who specializes in turning despair into hope and impossibility into miraculous reality. This surrender is not defeat. It is liberation. This journey is deeply personal, requiring consistent prayer, meditation, and a willingness to listen for divine guidance. It's about cultivating an open heart and a discerning spirit, recognizing the subtle whispers of God's plan amidst the noise of the world. Imagine a sculptor working with a block of raw stone. You might see only rough edges, but the sculptor envisions a magnificent form waiting to be revealed. Your life is that stone, and God, the master sculptor, is ready to carve a masterpiece beyond your imagination. This act of seeking and surrendering will profoundly reshape your expectations and open your eyes to the countless ways God is actively working in your life, leading you to a deeper sense of divine partnership. A deeper sense of divine partnership transforms your spiritual walk from a passive belief into an active collaboration with God. You understand that while He is sovereign, He also invites you to participate in His work through prayer, faith, and courageous action. You learn to pray not just for things, but for alignment with His will, trusting that His plans for you are always for good, even when they involve navigating difficult terrain. This partnership empowers you to move forward with purpose and confidence. This active collaboration fosters a profound sense of peace and security, knowing that you are never alone in your endeavors. You have a divine ally, a powerful advocate who is always on your side, guiding your steps and empowering your every effort. Consider two skilled dancers moving in perfect synchronicity. One leads, the other follows, creating a beautiful, harmonious performance. Your partnership with God is like that dance, a graceful collaboration that produces something truly extraordinary. This powerful sense of partnership will empower you to become a beacon of hope for others, sharing your transformed perspective and inviting them into their own journey of faith and divine encounter. Becoming a beacon of hope for others, sharing your transformed perspective and inviting them into their own journey of faith is a powerful and fulfilling calling. Your life, once marked by despair, now shines as a testament to God's restorative power, illuminating paths for those lost in darkness. You realize that your story holds immense potential to break through cynicism and rekindle dying embers of hope in hearts that feel broken. By sharing your vulnerability and your triumph, you create a relatable bridge for others to cross from doubt to belief. This involves being authentic about the struggles you faced, not just the miracle, because it is in your honesty that others find courage to open up about their own battles. Your journey becomes a narrative of shared human experience, culminating in divine victory. Imagine a lighthouse standing firm against a stormy sea, its beam cutting through the gloom, guiding ships safely to shore. You are that lighthouse, unwavering, shining a steady light of hope into the lives of others, showing them a safe harbor in faith. This commitment to being a beacon of hope reinforces the core message that with God, no situation is truly impossible, and every ending is a new beginning. Remember, no situation is truly impossible with God, and every ending is a new beginning. This isn't just a comforting thought, it's a profound truth exemplified by the countless stories, including your own, where divine intervention defied all human logic and expectation. You have witnessed firsthand how the most desperate medical prognoses can be rewritten, how despair can be transformed into defiant hope, and how a life once deemed beyond repair can be gloriously restored. Your experience is a powerful declaration of God's limitless power. So, whatever impossible situation you may be facing today, whether it's a health crisis, a relational struggle, or a daunting personal challenge, hold on to this truth. Believe that God is capable of working beyond what you can see, hear, or even imagine. Think of it like this: a blank page awaits your story's next chapter. While human hands may try to write an ending of limitation, God's hand is ready to pen an extraordinary conclusion, filled with grace, victory, and a renewed sense of purpose. Your journey is a testament to the fact that the impossible is merely the ground where God works. May your faith be strengthened, knowing that He desires to write a different, miraculous ending to your story too. May your faith be strengthened, knowing that God desires to write a different, miraculous ending to your story too. This is the profound takeaway from every testimony of divine intervention, a personal invitation to believe for the extraordinary in your own life, irrespective of current circumstances. You are encouraged to carry this hope with you, allowing it to permeate every aspect of your being. Let it transform your anxieties into anticipation, your doubts into steadfast belief, and your fears into an unshakable trust in a power far greater than any earthly challenge. This renewed faith will not only empower you to face difficulties with courage, but will also open your eyes to the countless ways God is already at work in your life, orchestrating miracles both big and small, often unseen until you look with spiritual eyes. Consider a delicate seed planted in seemingly barren soil. With faith, you nurture it, believing in the hidden life within, trusting that, against all odds, it will break through the earth and blossom into something beautiful. Your faith is that nurturing belief. As you step forward, remember the unwavering truth that the impossible is just the ground where God works. Embrace this message, let it transform your perspective, and prepare to witness the unfolding of your own divinely written ending.